Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports. Dan Bernstein, that's Matt Abaticola. PECOTA loves the Cubs. PECOTA loves your Chicago Cubs.
So does Matt Abaticola.
You love them too. I know. The PECOTA engine loves the Cubs. There's always changes in things. You say, well, what's PECOTA? What is it? It scares me. PECOTA is an acronym that stands for it's named after Bill PECOTA, but it's a sort of clunkily constructed acronym by the wonks at Baseball Prospectus that is an algorithmic projection system, and every year they make some changes to it, and they make their playoff odds based on their inputs. Here's how they say it. It's created by PECOTA, passed through human-curated depth chart playing time estimates. Because you can't really do this without a person telling the system what players are likely to play what positions at what times.
It's the player empirical comparison optimization test algorithm.
Right, which was...
Or PECOTA.
Right, exactly. So it was the acronym was created after the fact when they decided to name it after completely forgettable major leaguer Bill PECOTA.
Yes.
And what they said was, we did our best to balance the eye-friendliness of one-loss records with the viability of postseason probabilities. Compared to the past, it allows things like the Dodgers being the division winner in nearly each of the 1,000 simulations we most recently ran to happen. And then they have visualizations of the curves of the simulated wins by team. And I'm going to let them say this so I don't have to say what I usually say annually when we do this. PECOTA does not pick a team to win any particular number of games. PECOTA identifies, the simulations identify an estimated range of games a team might win and gives you the average of that fairly wide range. It's about likelihoods, a range of likelihoods. And they say it's early. Pitchers and catchers are just trading tee times for bullpen sessions. The standings will continue to be tuned over the next several weeks until we reach opening day. Do not be surprised if your team moves up or down a few games as rosters finalize and additional tweaks are made. So, let's look real quick at your Chicago teams and their respective divisions, starting in the NL Central. The simulated standings as of right now have the Cubs as the favorite in the NL Central by 10 games, by a wide margin.
Yeah, I hope that's true. That'd be nice.
The Cubs in their simulations have come out with an average win total of 90, and that's a lot for PECOTA. So when I give you the Dodgers number, which I think is the highest I've ever seen in this system, your jaw is gonna drop when I give you the Dodgers number. But it's the Cubs at 90-72 at the moment, ahead of Milwaukee at 80-82. That's the gap. That's the chasm that exists right now, according to PECOTA. That the Cubs are, pick whatever word you want, PECOTA has them as a runaway favorite in the Central, with a 73.5% chance of winning the division, with a 13.6% chance then of winning the wild card. That adds up to a playoff percentage possibility at the moment of 87.1. That's pretty insane. That is as bullish as I've seen this program on the Cubs in recent memory. And then it's Pittsburgh at 80-82 also, just percentage points behind Milwaukee. Cincinnati at 79 and 83, and then the rebuilding Cardinals at 66 and 96. If you are a Cardinals disliker, it'll be a fun year for you. They're trying to be bad, and they're going to be bad.
Yep.
They've traded everybody away because they are regrouping, retooling, whatever you like to say. And I don't know if they've used the word rebuild. I don't know. The Bulls won't use the word rebuild. So,
do you remember what PECOTA had for
retrenching.
the Brewers last year?
I don't. The Brewers routinely outperform their
Yeah.
projections. They do, and that is something that does happen. If you do know teams have an established history of outperforming their projections, what they will tell you at BP is they want to know why. Why does this team outperform? Is it managerial? But it has really not been managerial because Craig Counsell routinely overperformed. Now Pat Murphy is overperforming. That continued without their manager there. And some managers are more likely to over. It's possible that both are really good managers. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably true, and that's part of it. But it does look, especially with the surprising Caleb Durbin trade, that they lose a reliable regular, and they grabbed a couple of prospects in there, but they don't have any immediate replacement there. They have possibilities, and probably the person who's going to step in is going to be better than you think, because that's just how things go. So that's the NL Central. And then you say, okay, how does the AL Central look? Where are the White Sox?
Wait, I'm sorry. They had the Brewers at 80?
80 and 82. Wow. For the moment. And these can change.
Yep.
And I'm rounding up and I'm rounding down. It was 80.2 and 81.8. Just like the Cubs are at 90.1 and 71.9. But I'm rounding.
Yep.
So it's a 10-game difference in the averages of their simulations. How about White Sox? Juan Pizarro and all the guys I grew up with. White Sox projected 69 and 93. You were looking for 70, right?
Yeah, I said let's get to 70. Let's do 70-92. That'd be a positive year.
Absolutely possible.
Yep.
Because they are projected in their simulations to make a big improvement to 69 and 93. Kansas City is at 85 and 77.
Okay.
Detroit, hot on their heels at 83 and 79. Minnesota at 80 and 82. Cleveland at 76 and 86. And then the White Sox are a distant fifth. The gap between 4 and 5 is the largest one in the division.
What's the Detroit's record?
Detroit is 83.4 and 78.6. I do not know if this reflects the addition of Justin Verlander.
Right. And so they have Kansas City as the most wins?
Yep.
At 85.
Yep.
Huh.
Correct. Now, your East winner, look at the East. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Every single AL East team is projected to be a winning team.
Really?
And we know that's not probably possible. There's only so much you can beat up on, White Sox and the Angels in the AL. But it's got the Yankees at 88 and 74, Toronto at 87.8 and 74.2.
Okay.
Baltimore 84.1 and 77.9. Boston 88.2 and 79.8. Tampa Bay at 81.3 and 80.7.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
Okay.
Elsewhere, Atlanta in the East at 90 and 72, or 91 and 71. It's got the Mets just behind them, 89 and 73. Then the Phillies, 86, 76. In the West, the Dodgers, 104 and 58.
Wow.
To see that in this system, and there's no way that they're going to get to 104, and there's no need for them to do that in this division, I don't think, because then it's San Diego at 82 and 80.
Did you say Atlanta at 91-71?
Yes.
Okay.
That is so. Then you've got San Diego and San Francisco almost identical, Arizona, and your worst team in baseball, the Colorado Rockies, 61 and 101.
With Chris Bryant on the DL.
Yeah, it sucks. And then in the AL West, it's Seattle, not surprisingly, at 94 and 68. Houston at 86 and 76. Texas 84 and 78. It's got Sacramento. I'm glad they're listed as Sacramento because they don't want to be known as Sacramento. They want to simply be known as the Athletics. But Sacramento is at 77 wins, and then the Wobegon Angels are at 66 and a half and 95 and a half. So there you have it. Again, the Cubs by a mile, the prohibitive NL Central favorites, and the White Sox still in the cellar of the AL Central, according to Baseball Prospectus's PECOTA algorithm. And there are always smart people who know these systems well, who weigh in. And I look to the Joe Sheehan newsletter, the people that I really like, the two baseball writers that I check every single day. The only two that I look at, other than some of the local folks, but nationally that are sort of my North Star, is the work of Joe Sheehan with his subscription newsletter and the work of Craig Calcaterra with the Cup of Coffee newsletter, both of which should be absolutely just automatic subscription through if you are a baseball fan. Mm-hmm. And for Calcaterra, you don't necessarily, if you also like pop culture and 80s and 90s music and all that stuff, he's great on a lot of those other topics as well. But here's what Sheehan had to say. He said, PECOTA gives 19 teams at least a 25% chance to make the playoffs. Yeah, I'm going to repeat that. 19 teams have at least a 25% playoff chance as of right now, with two others above 20%. In a league where an equal chance to win the World Series for everyone would be 3.3%, 10 have at least that number. 3 more are between 2% and 3%. You're simply never going to do better than this while playing 6 months of baseball. The people who squawk about how just 5 teams can win the World Series are not unlike the ones who used to stand on street corners and bellow about the world ending. 3 words here from Joe Sheehan: ignore both groups. Ignore them. This is as democratized a season set yet, because he does his own. He said, I think I'm higher on the Red Sox, the A's, the Cubs, and the Cardinals than PECOTA. He's always been a Cub honk, in his words. When it comes, he liked last year's Cubs. He liked the Cubs the year before, and I know he likes them now. And he says, I'm lower on the Orioles, Astros, Angels, Nationals, and Giants, but we'll see where I come down on all these teams next month. He said, for now, PECOTA gives us a fun talking point on the day the first pitchers and catchers report to camps in Arizona. Well said. That's all this is. That's all this is. And so before you immediately reach for your keyboard and say, Bernstein, it doesn't matter. They got to play the games. Yeah, I know. But
right.
But look, the sun is shining. Spring is coming. And they're pretty good at this. And if anything, it gives you, with every estimate, we've done some ZiPS numbers that Dan Zaborski puts together. And now looking at these numbers, what am I hearing? Wait.
It's a new addition to MLB this year.
The banjo music? I like it.
I do too.
It's kind of nice. It's a good, like, sunny morning.
Yeah, they wanted to take
thing.
it from me and use it for the All-American 7th inning stretch.
And you said
and I
no?
said no.
Oh, there's an alternative 7th inning stretch now that's more American?
Yes.
Okay. What happens if your team has players who may be from another country or Puerto Rico?
Well, it doesn't.
Which isn't another
baseball's
country,
America's
really.
pastime.
It's the national pastime.
America's pastime.
It's not. It's the national pastime.
It's America's pastime. We're changing it.
Oh, we got a little fiddle in there too.
So instead of like throwing out hats and stuff from the booth, we're gonna throw out like fried chicken, apple pie,
Chevrolet.
a whole Chevrolet right out the window.
Yeah, careful.
You catch that, you get to drive it home.
Who says I can't?
Icy cold cans of beer. Handfuls of dirt.
Did I miss the fact that
Boots.
are other countries not allowed to fry chicken?
It's America's only.
Really?
Yes. Apple pie.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Other countries are not allowed to fry chicken.
Whole trouts. So toss them right out the window.
Okay. I like this.
What we're celebrating today is Cubs pitchers and catchers report.
Mm-hmm.
It's baseball, damn it. It's America.
It is, and you should feel good about the Cubs' chances here. And he said, here are once again, the Dodgers at 105, the other 90-win teams, the Braves and the Cubs in the NL. The Mariners are the second best team in baseball in the AL. All right, so there you go. You have reason to be optimistic and excited if that is something that's important to you. You feel that is something you need. At NCAA tournament, Maddie took a flyer on the Fighting Illini. Did you mention?
I did. Yeah, plus 1,200, who lost last night again in overtime, back-to-back overtime losses, this time at home to Wisconsin, but blaming the referees for it once again.
Did you watch it?
MSU. Huh?
I was it on?
It was on. Yeah, they had a 12-point second-half lead. They just couldn't hit free throws at the end.
I saw the final, but I didn't run across it. Where was it on TV?
Television.
Where? Do you know?
No, I don't remember where.
Because I watched the documentary last night. I watched Miracle, the Boys of 80.
Oh, good. Good, yeah. So I
enjoyed it
I had a busy
tremendously.
TV night flipping through. I had Olympics. I had Summer House. I watched Mel Brooks documentary, the first part, actually. So,
yeah, the first episode's excellent. And I had my Olympics interrupted by news that wasn't really news. It was so weird.
Wasn't it the person on camera, and then they said it wasn't
It wasn't
a person
the
of
person.
interest? See, I told you.
They did a terrible job with that break-in.
Told you it wouldn't be.
So
that.
I'm watching Olympics.
Yep.
I was watching? I was skiing something, slalom something.
Yep.
And then I was the figure skating and watching the quad god.
Yep.
And he can really jump in the air a lot.
He does.
He
does backflips on skates.
But the jumping and spinning,
yes,
that's a thing.
Well, that's why he's a quad guy.
I guess
He can do more spins in
he's
the air
good
than
at it,
anybody else.
And boy, he likes to play with his hair. And he
21.
They caught him before, like he was fixing his hair. He was waiting for sort of that glory camera shot.
Yep.
And I think it was Terry Gannon who said, "You're good, bro.
You look good."
Yeah, you look good."
You know, his parents are both figure skaters.
I learned that
Yep.
last night because that's what I get edified by this programming. But in the middle of it, anyway, I'm watching, and they're like, "This is an NBC special report," and there they are. And we have a person of interest has been detained, and they show. And I kept thinking, "Oh, they found the porch guy. They found the Ring doorbell guy with the ski mask and the gun." And then, so they send it out to the reporter, and the reporter is details and details and details. And this is where they're at this house, and they're going to get a search warrant, and they're going to do all these things. And I'm like, where's the mom? And I keep thinking, isn't the headline, what do we know about the actual kidnapped
the missing person? Yes.
We got like 5 minutes into this thing without a word about the actual missing person until the anchor interrupts the reporter and says, "Do we know anything about the whereabouts of Nancy Guthrie?" And he's like, "No." And they're talking to a guy who's not that guy. Like, what are we doing here?
Wait, was the guy on video a person of interest?
No, the person of interest was a guy at a traffic stop.
Okay. So the guy on
and they let him go already
with a mask and a gun was not a person of interest.
He's no, a person of interest is somebody in custody.
Oh, I thought someone you're looking for.
Well, of course you're looking for him.
Oh, so they are looking for him.
I think he's probably.
Well, I don't know. The FBI's involved, Dan. I'm just asking questions. Right.
But they made it very clear.
They could have ruled him out that he wasn't a person of interest.
They go to Nora O'Donnell, and she goes, official sources are telling me. No, she started to say authorities. She went, sources.
Yeah.
So, and then she said, reminded me that this is the Pima County investigators and not FBI. So I'm thinking it's the FBI saying, like, they know she's dead, probably. And they're just like, look, this isn't us. Don't blame us for all this. This is all Pima County. We're just here as advisors. But I guarantee you, if she is found safe,
FBI.
Oh, then it's absolutely. It's all going to be the FBI parade.
It's all outcome based.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. But for the moment, it's like, this is talk to your Pima County people. They're in charge of this whole thing.
If they get her, she's good. It's the big eye guy will be there, and my people were on it. We're
Yep.
all
Oh
over
yeah,
it.
we knew it the entire time. Everything's fine. That's why we knew she was. But if it's the outcome is not great, they're gonna disappear. Be like, talk to your sheriff.
Yeah.
Over here, we had nothing to do with this thing. So it was weird, and it was long. And then they got back, and I didn't know. Did they stop the tape? And did they pick it up live? I couldn't tell.
The figure skating?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
I couldn't tell if they just preempted it or not.
I must have turned off at that point because I didn't see the break-in, the story, the news special report.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, they got her! They found her! She's alive."
I was watching something else at that point and flipping. So I didn't realize Mike Tirico finishes the Super Bowl, gets on a plane, and flies to Italy.
Mm-hmm.
The second he's done,
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
And he identifies as Italian and not as black.
Mike Tirico.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's why the White Sox haven't recognized him.
In other words, because he told them. Apparently, Frank Thomas also is Italian.
Italian.
Yes. And he said it too.
We've gladly brought
It's a me,
Frank
Big
into the
Hurt. That's why they couldn't find him. They
So he has
couldn't-
to, every time he walks into a room, he's contractually obligated to say that. It's a me, a bigger hurts.
Hey, it's a me.
Yep. We gladly have brought Frank into the family.
You sure about that?
Yes.
You might want to check the uncles.
Oh no, we're good.
Okay.
No, we had a meeting last night at Olive Garden, so the committee got together. It's a different committee. Yep.
And they loved the ragu Fredo or whatever the new sauce is.
Lasagnatini. We've agreed to bring Frank into the family.
Good. It's nice.
Unanimously.
Franco.
Yeah.
Franco. How do you say big hurt in Italiano? Gran something.
Yes.
Dolor, or I'm sure it's something similar to a Spanish root in that. There was some news that I found really interesting, and it has to do with the Cubs. It has to do with one of the most famous images of the Chicago Cubs. Did you happen to see this?
I did. Very cool. Very cool story.
If you know it when I bring it up, and it's a famous painting that was used on the cover of the Saturday Evening Post when that was an immensely significant position for a work of art. And it's the picture by Norman Rockwell called The Dugout that was painted in 1948. And I had no idea that it was in the home of former Illinois Governor Bruce Rauner and his wife. Just in their house, they had this painting. They bought it at an auction at Christie's in 2009 for $662,500. It's obviously worth considerably more than that now. And Bruce Rauner told the Tribune, he said, I bought it for two reasons. I'm a longtime Cubs fan. I followed them as a kid. I'm a huge fan of Norman Rockwell. We loved owning it. I didn't necessarily even want to donate it except after I was dead. But this seemed like a great time to say thank you to the people here. And here is the Art Institute of Chicago, which we can see from across the hall over here. And it's really cool. It is the first Norman Rockwell painting in the entire collection of the Art Institute. If you want to know, he did, and Christopher Borelli wrote this in the Tribune, that he painted 323 covers for the Saturday Evening Post between 1916 and 1963. And it's described as probably the first major work in the museum's collection that depicts a popular sport. I don't know if there's anything ancient. There's something by, or Bruegel the Elder when they're playing soccer or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But, and you say, well, why does it matter? The image of the Cubs as hapless and unfortunate, like adorably unfortunate, or another term for that would be lovable losers. A lot of that came from the impact of this image, of this painting. And you know it. As you see it, it is as if you're standing about 15 feet outside of the Cubs dugout looking in at Wrigley Field. And you are seeing The Cubs coach is unhappy. A bat boy with his shoulders slumped and a player behind him. And fans on the dugout roof behind the dugout cheering, obviously, apparently, for the other team. And well, it's not Wrigley Field because the Cubs, the jerseys say Chicago.
They're in the road grays.
Yeah, they're in the road grays. And the description of the photo is this. Christopher Borelli says, you're looking at the Cubs early in their season. That's right. It's a doubleheader in Boston against the Boston Braves. Pitcher Bob Rush, manager Charlie Grimm, and catcher Rube Walker. The player behind the sad bat boy is pitcher Johnny Schmitz. The sad bat boy was Frank McNulty, who was a Boston Braves bat boy, coaxed into a Cubs uniform to pose for the photos that became the painting. In the stands, actual Boston fans who posed. The woman needling the Cubs was the daughter of the Braves coach. It's a doubleheader the Cubs dropped entirely. And it was published when the Saturday Evening Post still had 3 million subscribers a week. So the picture did nothing for Chicago's growing mid-century reputation as a large but insecure cow town. And this was the idea of the way the Cubs are losing, but everybody around the country, the 3 million, think about 3 million as a percentage of the population in 1948. When you start thinking about that, and how 3 million then as opposed to 3 million now, that's a very significant number of people who that was the schema in their mind of the Cubs. That is an indelible image that helped shape the lovable loser idea of the Cubs.
What was the year?
48.
1948.
That's what it says. And this has been mostly in private collections. Diana Rauner said it's a community-focused painting. I felt more people should be seeing this. It was a little weird to have it not be part of any community. The Cubs were in last place in 1948. So it practically oozes 64 wins and 90 losses as we're bringing up all of these records and all of the expectations of records. And this was a rare watercolor because he usually did them with oil paints, and the magazine would reproduce the oil paintings. So this is an oil study by the artist. The work reproduced was a rare watercolor that is now hanging in the Illustrated Gallery outside Philadelphia. And everyone in the image agreed to pose for the photographs, later used as studies for the painting. That's how Rockwell worked. And he said the dugout is a good example of the growing willingness of major fine arts institutions to embrace commercial illustration, even when it crosses into pop culture. For decades, the Art Institute had rarely collected anything like a Norman Rockwell. Oh. Mm-hmm. So the Art Institute has stooped to include this painting. I guess they'll have to make an exception for popular culture to have that. And this is Borelli, who says Rockwell was unintentionally trolling the Cubs in 1948. Later that season, at Ebbets Field in New York City, he had a photographer capture the Brooklyn Dodgers playing the Cubs for a 1949 spring cover. The Cubs lost that game, too. Rockwell returned the next day to shoot the Dodgers and the Pirates, which became the study he used for an even more famous work. When I say Norman Rockwell baseball, can you name what pops into your head?
The Cubs painting.
Okay, any other baseball painting? Any famous?
No.
Okay, well, when I mention it, you're going to know it.
Okay.
It's called Game Called Because of Rain. 3 umpires evaluating stray drops of precipitation. If you look it up, you'll know it. And it hangs today in the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. And here's the conclusion to the Tribune piece, which is perfect. If there's a sunny side to the dugout, it's that the Cubs were not the absolute worst team in Major League Baseball in 1948. So who was that? Who was the who was the worst team in baseball in 1948 that finished dead last in their league with 101 losses?
The White Sox.
Your Chicago White Sox. And the kicker, Rockwell, didn't bother to paint them at all. I knew you would get a kick out of that one. But, yeah, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
I wouldn't mind just walking down the street and standing in front of that
Taking
one.
a look at it, yeah. I saw it this morning getting hung up, getting put on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
I thought that was really cool. And the other one is more famous. I haven't been to the Hall of Fame, and you don't go.
I've never
until
been to the Hall of Fame.
12U.
We're not going.
You're not going.
No. We're already at 13U, and then 12U. We're going back to Pigeon Forge.
That's right. That's why you're raising them. Okay.
Yeah.
That it's probably better anyway. I know. Jason wasn't. He played on the travel team the Cooperstown year, but he went to overnight camp and
missed it. Yeah,
missed
and
it. I told him. I did tell him I would take him.
I've heard bad things about the travel baseball. And then last, did you hear the
travel baseball in Cooperstown?
Yeah,
I know Wells Park teams.
It's not good.
They play some team from California and they lose like 48-3.
Well, not only that, but it's just the accommodations are bad. The fields aren't very good. It's not the experience you thought you think you would have.
Correct. I do know the parents, at least the Wells Park parents that I know, they have as elaborate plans where they get some gorgeous house in the hills with like fireplaces and all that everybody puts in, and then
that's
you get these
a good
groups.
way to go.
Yeah.
But the actual baseball itself isn't really worth going out there for.
I've heard the same.
And then did you hear what happened last year? One of the local teams up in Lake Bluff. Did you see this story last year?
Well, they won, right?
No,
they...
two of the coaches went streaking.
They went, and then didn't they go to Hooters?
I don't know, but they went streaking. I don't know about Hooters. Hooters would have been fine compared to what they did. They went streaking and ran the bases. And it got caught on video. Yeah, it's not good.
We're going streaking.
Yep. Yeah, that's a team that we play every year, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I got a good buddy who coaches over in Lake Bluff.
Of course you do.
Yeah. He was, thank God, was not one of the guys.
Do you know the guys who did it?
I don't. It was a different level team.
Okay.
But, yeah, made big news.
All right.
But, yeah, I've always heard that the baseball itself is not really worth going for.
Yeah, so. I'm not really all that interested in Cooperstown, and I told him if he wanted to go.
I do want to go. I want to go. Maybe when the boys get a little bit older, we'll go take that trip, but let's see.
I want to go down and see one of these college club games because I want to. Their season's about to start.
Now that I would like to do.
Practice has already started.
Yeah. So my older stepson Griffin, he has aspirations of playing baseball at Tennessee.
Okay, he's not going to play baseball at Tennessee.
So you don't know that.
He can play club.
You don't know that. How the fuck would you know?
Because it's really like we would know.
Okay.
He wouldn't be playing if he was good enough to play at Tennessee. He probably wouldn't be playing here now, right? Wouldn't he already be?
No, he wouldn't.
Sent away somewhere?
No, we're not going to send our kid away somewhere.
Okay, like the IMG or something like that. One of those academies where they all go.
All right, whatever. Way to ruin a good story.
Well, I'm just.
No, it's fine.
I'm sure.
Move on to your next thing.
Well, I mean, have you been realistic about these dreams?
Yes.
Got to be realistic with them.
Okay.
It's hard. You know how hard it is to play any
I know
Division
how hard
I?
it is. So a kid can't have a dream? Seriously?
He can.
God, you're such a prick.
Well, I don't know. I handle it differently.
Yeah,
Dad,
I know.
Dad, do you think I can be a Major League Baseball player? No. Do you think I can be a minor league baseball player? No. I think he was 6. He said, what about playing in college? I said, how small a college?
Right. Well, what age was that you told your son?
7 or 8, whatever
7
he
or 8,
asked.
so before he'd even gone through puberty,
Yeah.
developed and grown.
I said,
At 7 years old, you shit all over him. That's
what
nice.
is he going to be 6 feet tall, 200 pounds?
Hey, you never know. You never know who the father was.
That's true. If I had known, if J.R. Richard was his dad, I probably sold him short. You're right. I should have remembered he was actually fathered by J.R. Richard.
Yeah, you should have gone on Maury, gotten the DNA test first.
Yep. Your son is 6'8" and black.
Yep. Well, ask the White Sox.
Right. They said he's not.
Right.
This man is not black.
So some people go to Maury and they have the paternity test. Then other people go to the White Sox.
The White Sox color / the White Sox race test.
Race test.
Nope, white guy. Really?
We have the notes here.
Are you
Your
sure?
son, not black.
Yeah, really? How do you know? We just know.
Right.
Trust us.
Yeah.
We have experts. We put them in this special contraption that tells us.
A special contraption.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, they put him in this thing.
Medieval torture
yes, and
device.
it comes out and they can determine such things.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I don't want to get us in too much trouble, but that's okay. By the way, do not root for the Bulls to win games. Please stop doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what to root for right now. If
Losses.
you're a Bulls fan, root for entertaining, hard-fought losses. Root for development of some of these players, scouting opportunities for you, and most importantly for the Bulls. You want to see these guys out there running around. You want to enjoy what you think they can do in the future, potentially. But you ultimately want, when the game ends, you want the Bulls to have fewer points than the opponent. That's what because there are still some people that don't understand that.
Yeah, you want them to lose every game.
Yes,
that's the point of what they did.
Right now they're 24-30. They are tied with Milwaukee in the loss column. That's a good thing.
I mean, they traded away every possibility of being 500 and getting into the play-in game. You want them to lose everything.
Correct.
Yes.
They're right now. If you go to Tankathon, they're 10th. Number one is Sacramento at 12-43.
What is Tankathon?
Tankathon.com, inverted standings.
Okay.
And it allows you to simulate the lottery.
Interesting.
And then you can just keep clicking on the lottery and see how long it takes to get the number one draft pick. And it's fun. You just see how many times you click. I'm on 4, 5, still hasn't come up Bulls yet. Lots of Sacramento Kings, as it should be. Some Atlanta Hawks taking some jumps in there. But go have fun with tankathon.com because you're back there. You're back there this year and probably next year. And all the Bulls want to do is get themselves in that percentage opportunity for a top 4. You really want a top 3 this year because you want to get Darren Peterson, AJ DeBonsa, or Cameron Boozer. I'm probably, at the moment, if I had to be in a camp, I'd be in the DeBonsa camp if I got the number 1 overall pick. If I were drafting for upside.
Got it.
What? You got Bulls?
I got the Bulls number 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. You just hit Sim Lottery, and you can spend I just got Bulls number 1.
Oh, there you go.
I just got the Bulls with the number 1 pick. They had a 3% chance at the number 1 overall, and in this sim, it came in. They jumped up 9 spots with their record. But all you want to do is improve those chances with every single loss. And unfortunately, there seems to be a lack of understanding about what you're trying to do here, what it is you do here.
I got the Bulls at 3 again. I can't get them above 3.
You can come look at my screen. I got them at 1.
3 again.
I know. See, once you start doing this, you're gonna.
This is like hours.
I know. Isn't it fun?
Yes, this is great.
Isn't it fun? All right, I clicked it again, and now the Bulls are back to 10.
I got them to 4.
Damn it. 10.
I can't get above 3.
10.
Yeah, they get 10, 11, 10, 11, 10, 11. That's what I keep getting.
Oh,
so
now I dropped down to 11.
not good enough.
All right, pop back to 10.
Lose more.
Up 4.
Yeah,
got them up to 4. Yeah,
I got the 4.
Yeah, it takes a while to do it. I have new windows now. They're
How are they?
Oh my God, dude. They said to allot 2 days. This is so typical because, Russ Armstrong and Chicago Window guys, they said, here, we're going to do it on, they said Monday and Tuesday where the weather finally broke and they can come out and everything's all right. It was like half a day. We had all this time. I thought it was going to be this huge thing. They did the entire upstairs. They got there at 8:30 in the morning, and they were done by the time I got home from work. They're done. All that. The entire upstairs of windows done, clean. They vacuumed everything up. They put back everything that they had to move. There wasn't a trace of anything other than new windows. And everything was sealed and caulked, and it's just great. And it's warmer. It's amazing what happens. It's really amazing what happens when you take out the 20-year-old builder quality crap windows and you put in really, really good windows. And how about the best deal possible with a price match guarantee? Call Russ, 847-302-9171. Maybe you've been waiting to do this for a while. There's no reason to wait, because whether you're trying to keep the warm air inside, and very, very soon we'll be trying to keep the cool air inside, just not hearing your furnace or your AC kick on, that's the sound of saving money. That's the sound of windows paying for themselves. And he's got these great low emissivity double paned windows, and the spacer inside is made of it's a specialized polymer, so it can grow and shrink with the temperature. It doesn't crack. And it doesn't even conduct like metal does. He was explaining all this to me. I'm like a window expert now just because Russ told me all this stuff. And when you're getting quotes, make sure you ask the sales rep who's installing your windows, because the Russ's competitors, they can't answer that. They don't know who's installing your windows. They pick up third-party labor, some subcontracted hands all the time. They don't know. They can't promise. Russ can, because Russ's crew, plural, crews, work for him. And you'll deal with Russ. And he knows everybody who's in and around your house. So 847-302-9171. And check out his 5-star reviews. I can absolutely vouch for the quality of these windows personally. ChicagoWindowGuys.com. You've been waiting for it? With bated breath, which, by the way, is B-A-T-E-D. And now it is time for Matt Abaticola and your Dan Bernstein Unfiltered 312 Sports Olympic Update.
All right, some good stuff happened yesterday, Dan. The women's U.S. hockey team.
Yeah, big win.
Played Canada. They beat them 5-0. So with that win, they clinched first place in their group. So they're 4-0
Okay.
in their group play. So USA 5, Canada 0, big win. Mixed doubles curling took place last night, the gold medal game.
Did it take place last night, or
Yes.
did we just see it last night?
Well, it took place yesterday. I watched it last night.
Okay.
USA lost to Sweden on the final stone. It was the final stone that got them. Really exciting. Yeah, I know nothing about curling. Don't know how it really works, except you throw the things.
I learned about it. I
sweep.
learned the term shot rock when I went curling last week.
A shot rock?
I learned about the button.
What's
and
a
the,
shot rock?
And the house. The shot rock is the one that's when you are holding position.
Yep.
When you have, at the time, the closest one, that means you have shot rock.
Yeah, shot rock. Well, they lost on the final stone. USA mixed doubles curling, though. They did take home the silver.
Okay.
Sweden gets the gold.
But any kind of a medal for the U.S. is a big deal, right? In
yeah,
curling?
I think it was might have been the first in like several years, long
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Good.
Men's Super G final. So that's a big Super G. That's a big downhill.
Super giant slalom.
Yep. Ryan Cochran-Siegel, he won the silver for the U.S. Here was the most exciting one, Dan. Women's team combined skiing.
I think I watched some of that.
Okay. So Breezy Johnson. So first, it's combined the
Right,
combined
Breezy
skiing.
Johnson did the
So you
downhill.
do downhill, and then your partner does slalom.
Is Michaela Schifrin her
Yes.
partner? Okay.
So Breezy Johnson does the downhill, gets the fastest time of anyone in the downhill.
Uh-huh.
So gives Michaela Schifrin
She has an
the lead.
advantage, right.
Schifrin apparently is the fastest, the best woman slalom skier around right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the best in the history of slalom skiing. World Cup stuff, she's won 7 of the last 8 events.
Oh.
That 8th one, she finished 2nd. So
Okay.
the best in slalom. So Breezy Johnson has the best downhill time.
Okay.
Okay. They finished 4th
Ooh.
because Schifrin had, as one of the announcers said, the worst run he's ever seen her have.
What happened?
She just was bad.
Oh.
She just wasn't in a good rhythm. They actually finished 6 100ths out of the platform. But good
So
news,
that's
though,
not good.
Jackie Wiles and Paula Moltzen from the U.S. finished in 3rd with the bronze. So Austria first, Germany second, and then Wiles and Moltzen get the bronze for women's team combined skiing.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Dan, 2:10, 2 p.m., our time,
Mm-hmm.
USA, Latvia, men's hockey kicks off.
All right.
Or they drop the puck. They are in Group C.
Doesn't exactly kick off.
Yeah, they don't really kick anything off. Though Trump wants
Change that rule.
Yeah. He wants a football used instead. Group C, USA is with Denmark, Germany, and Latvia. So they start their pool play tomorrow.
What are our expectations for this particular U.S. team?
They better win the gold medal or don't come home.
But seriously, what are the expectations? I know those are your expectations.
Oh, I have no idea.
But do we know?
No, I mean, aren't we always competitive for the gold?
Yeah, I think so.
I would think so.
Okay.
So that starts tomorrow, 2:10. All right, the gold count, or the medal count, I should say. Right now, Norway's in the lead with 12. It's good. I mean, good for them. That's great. Italy, right behind them at 11.
Good story.
Yeah, and then USA and Japan right now are third with 8 medals each.
Have you been watching any of the Stanley Tucci cut-ins?
I have, yes.
Where
he's eating food with athletes.
That
It's
job.
a great gig.
I was just say,
Yeah.
like, what a job. What are you going to do? I don't know. Go eat stuff in Italy.
Have you seen his show where he travels around Italy?
I haven't seen an entire show, but
really
it's basically just hang out with Stanley Tucci and go eat stuff.
I would love to do that. Yeah, I've seen his with the Olympic coverage, though.
I saw one that he did where he was just making something in his house that was terrific. Completely unpretentious and fun and easy.
Seems like a real good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to hang out with him.
I like him, but I also want him to be his character from Devil Wears Prada.
Well, you'll get your chance again coming up here soon, I think. I think it comes out soon, doesn't it?
It does. The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. This time it's personal.
Yeah.
I don't know what
it was personal last time, I thought.
Yeah, I don't. It sounds like the same thing.
You know, and I saw a really good story. Layla Edwards. I want to say she's one of the players on the women's hockey team from Cleveland Heights, Ohio.
Oh, is that the first black woman?
Yep.
Yes, I saw that.
So the Kelsey brothers paid for her family to be able to go.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, they gave a lot of money for it to happen.
Good for them.
Really cool feature on her. So that was cool. All right, so that's your Olympic update. One more time. Norway with 12, Italy 11, USA and Japan with 8.
That has been a 312 Sports Olympic update. I have
You got to wait.
Sorry, I didn't know if you'd fade it out.
No, I'm not going to. It's 15 seconds. You're not going to. You can't talk over it.
Sorry.
So just wait till it plays again because you ruined it. Now I'm ruining it by talking over it.
Start it again.
Well, you got to do it again. You have to do the whole thing again.
I have to do the whole outro again?
Yeah. You ruined it the last time.
Well, you just ruined it now. I'm not talking.
You're not going to do it?
I'll do it, but give me a second to do it.
You're not going to close the segment
I'm
out.
going to close the segment.
Fine.
Okay.
You don't get it anymore.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
That has been... Oh, I don't mind this either.
Okay. Remember, this is the alternate 7th-inning stretch.
Right. This is when the 7th-inning stretch doesn't put you enough in the mind of Cornpone America. You get a little bit of banjo and hot country fiddling.
So you'll have to leave the stadium, go outside the stadium for the alternate 7th-inning stretch.
But it'll be out there.
Yes.
It'll be out there.
This is it.
Yep.
They're going to throw fried chicken at you, apple pie,
hot dogs,
grandma, dirt.
Gotta have dirt.
And Chevrolets. Oh, and whole trout. And boots.
See, I don't like it's got to be bass and not trout. Trout's too fly fishy elite.
I'm just going by the song I heard.
Catfish.
That's what it's gotta be.
Yeah, I think bass is too tough to catch. I think we gotta go down the old fishing hole and get some catfish. Yeah, because you've got the banjo, and you've got riddlin', diddlin', and hot country fiddlin'.
This is where it really kicks in, though. Let's go.
Steel guitar.
Yeah, this is where you kiss your sister. Right here.
Was that a key change, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I think we changed keys, and we got a little slide guitar in there.
I like it.
Yeah. See, if you don't love your country, you know what you should do? Leave. Go somewhere else.
Hey, you just shut your mouth and play your sports. You respect the flag.
I heard that. Boomer Esiason told us that. Stop with your opinions and your thoughts on anything.
You respect what's going on here, mister.
Yeah, respect what's going on. That's your job, according to the great Boomer. Okay, that was good.
Fine.
Fine.
You're not going to do your close?
Thank you. What? No, because you said I had to do the close before. You're changing the damn rules on me.
No, I wanted you to close it out without talking over the end of it. You ruined it. So.
This has been...
Well, it's not playing, so...
This has been a 312 Sports Olympic Update. Now can I talk?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you didn't ruin it, no.
Okay, good.
No,
well,
we're good.
You mentioned the documentary. I just want to recommend to everybody the Mel Brooks documentary that is, for me, it's probably more significant, more important than it is for the average person. It's called Mel Brooks, the 99-Year-Old Man. Judd Apatow is the brains, the money behind it mostly. And it's very, very well done. It's on HBO Max. It's a two-parter. And it's hard for me to put into proper perspective the significance of Mel Brooks to me in my upbringing and in sort of the entertainment side of my life, because it was canon. The 2,000-Year-Old Man was just something that was on. It's something we listened to, and all of my friends had the records, and there were just certain. It was a cultural touchstone for a lot of us, and that's why when I saw the people who were interviewed as part of this, I mean, first of all, seeing Rob Reiner made it kind of tough.
Yep.
But the number of other comedians, people who generationally were around the same age and similar upbringings to me, who all talked about Mel Brooks and what the albums meant and then what the movies meant from a very young age. When I see, I think Sarah Silverman and I are the same age. Ben Stiller's a couple years older than I am. But Sarah Silverman, Ben Stiller, Adam Sandler, Josh Gad is a little younger, and Nick Kroll is a little bit younger. But these are all people who had similar upbringings. And where Mel Brooks just occupied an enormous place about creating a sense of humor. What was funny, what was acceptable, what humor meant, what it meant ethnically, what it meant, the things that he was lampooning, why it was important for our culture and important to understand the role that humor played and what he did when and why he did it. And to sit and see all this and see so much, and to hear him talk now, to hear him interviewed now, what I came away with from this was, first of all, his genius and his neediness to be applauded, to get the laugh, the essence of him wanting that laugh, and his kindness. Just the size of his heart, and personally and professionally, what he did, the kindness he showed. It's also the last interview that David Lynch did, and a lot of people don't realize that when David Lynch was a nobody after Eraserhead, and I don't want to spoilers from this, but there's just an incredible story about how Mel Brooks, who produced The Elephant Man, hired David Lynch to direct The Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Based on Eraserhead. Based on a screening of Eraserhead. And Brooks took his name off the picture completely. So it would be the appearance of his name wouldn't predispose audiences. He wanted to do serious films. He wanted to produce serious films, but he couldn't do it with his own name on it. So even though he empowered David Lynch and did everything for this production that he cared deeply about, he removed himself from it other than a Brooks Films production that people didn't even associate with him at all.
Well, because that's how he learned. He learned that, and what I learned in watching the first episode, only I'll watch the second one today, what Sid Caesar did for him. And Sid Caesar gave him his start and brought him on the show of shows.
Yep.
And he wasn't even a part of the production staff.
Not officially. He was Sid's
there,
guy. Yeah.
and he was Sid's guy, and Sid would pay him out of his pocket. So that's what. That's how he learned the business. That's how you treat people, So it was really cool. And then to hear about him and the friendship with Carl Reiner, how they were both writers there, and then the 2,000-year-old man just kind of started as a dumb bit that they would do for fun
at parties,
and then Steve Allen hears it and is like, "You got to come on the show. You got to record this." And it was great. And it's a genius concept.
And I didn't know how badly he needed a hit. I did not know how down and out Brooks was after your show of shows.
Well, it was really sad to hear about what happened with his marriage. And, he had 3 kids with his first wife.
And I read his memoir, and he really doesn't. I think this documentary does a much better job at fleshing everything out than his memoir does.
It was great. It was really, really good. And what else I learned about his experiences in World War II, which I didn't know, and of course the harassment he faced for being Jewish. I love the story, and hope that, I'm sure this is accurate, but guy, makes fun of him, calls him a Jew, gets on him, and then he beats the shit out of the guy. And he said no one ever bothered him again. And I just, it was just, that's not something I would expect from Mel Brooks, because when I was introduced to Mel Brooks, he was an old man.
He's always been an old man.
Yeah, but you just never, as a kid, you never think back, well, yeah, he had a birth and a childhood and a life, and he was always Mel Brooks.
Yep.
And, God, what was my first introduction to Mel Brooks was, God, now why am I drawing a blank?
Young Frankenstein,
no.
Blazing Saddles, Spaceballs, High Anxiety.
I have these 15 commandments, and
History of the World.
Yeah, History of the World. Jeez, that's where my dad first introduced me to Mel Brooks.
Okay.
And he was old, you just don't think back of his life. And it was just to hear about the depression he went through and how bad things were. And his wife, he met his wife who was a dancer in Hollywood, and she's on a show with Dean Martin, and Dean Martin's hitting on her.
And he even said, why are you with that nothing little Jew?
That schlep.
Yep.
That's what she said.
Yes. Yep.
And she's like, well, I really like him. He's like, you could have me. It's Dean Martin.
Yep.
And she's like, I'm good. I'm good with Melvin Kaminsky. I'm good with Mel Brooks.
Yep.
That was great. That was really great.
And in World War II, his battalion, his group was in France after the Germans had been pushed back, and their job was to go through and detect all of the booby traps, all the mines, all the tripwires, all the bombs that the Germans had left.
And so he's the youngest of 4 boys, and all 4 boys are sent off to World War II, and it was just his mom and his brothers.
Yep.
And so this woman's got all, and it's not the only story like that, obviously, but just to hear that, and one of his brothers was shot down he was in a bomber, but survived, and he comes home, and it's a really, really cool story. I'm really glad that you mentioned to watch it. It was on my radar to watch. Had forgotten about it, and then when you mentioned it the other day, I'm like, all right, I got to get back to that.
I kept laughing when here's Adam Sandler and Ben Stiller, Sarah Silverman specifically, the people right around me, all talking about what their parents did, and obviously for Ben Stiller it's different because you had somebody in the business who had an understanding it was very different. But Adam Sandler's family wasn't in the business, Sarah Silverman's family wasn't in the business. They just talked about, hey, this is Mel Brooks. Like you're supposed to. You got to know all this stuff. This stuff matters. And then I had heard stories relatively recently. My college roommate, my 3-year college roommate, one of his best friends from New Jersey is a screenwriter. And when he first got to L.A., he was working out of New York, and then he went to L.A. to try to write movies. And for a while was in between offices and was talking to somebody. And the guy said, hey, maybe we got a place for you. Mel Brooks had an extra office in his, wherever he was, near the studio. He's like, oh, have him office here. We got to use whatever you want. He's like, I got a printer. I got everything. Come in here. Yeah, absolutely. And he met him, and he read some of his stuff, and he gave him some notes. And he's like, well, what can I do for you? What can I, what do I owe you? He's like, no, nothing. Don't worry about it. gave him,
Wow.
just brought him, just gave him all this stuff, and
Cool.
said he was like that with everybody, and couldn't wait to help young people. Just always incredibly generous and as garrulous as you would believe. Just always walking around, always talking to people, always making people laugh.
Yeah, I love the story he told about working in the Catskills. As he gets sent out to this resort as a busboy, and then the shows they put on, one of the actors couldn't make it or couldn't do it that night, so he shows that he knows all the words of every part of this play, and
He
so
understudied for every role.
he gets the opportunity, and then he fucks up. He drops a glass, and it breaks, and walks to the edge of the stage, and he's like, takes off the beard and the wig, and he's like, I'm only 13. Yeah. And he got the laugh, and he said it was that moment that he got that laugh.
I'm 13 years old. What do you want from me?
It was like that drug. It was
Yep.
like, that's what I need. I
Yep.
need to make people laugh. It was cool. It was just a really cool story.
Yeah, I also didn't know that he was. I knew he played the drums, but I didn't know that Buddy Rich somehow through I don't know his Catskills connections, but he was a better drummer than I thought.
Yeah.
And this is something I don't want to spoil, but when you watch the next episode and you learn about, and I did not know everything about the Broadway production of The Producers. And how the choreography and like the rhythm and the steps and all that, and his ability to understand some of that stuff, it all came from his drumming background.
Yeah.
With the rhythm of jokes, the rhythm of comedy, and then even some of the literal choreography and songs that he had that too.
Yeah, really funny guy. So some of those old footage of videos with Johnny Carson. I can't remember who the show was.
Well,
but
there was Mike Douglas was in there.
Yeah, there was the one that his
Maury Povich.
He was like, you lost your father at a young age, and he's like, we didn't lose him, he died. if we'd have lost him, we'd have sent a group out to find him.
Everybody hates when I make that joke, and just the understanding of why he made fun of certain things, the power of comedy, and not just satire, the power of comedy.
Yeah.
And it not necessarily just sort of thinly veiled political stuff, but like hitting everybody over the head with stuff. He had a sledgehammer that some people have a rapier. He had a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And a whoopee cushion.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I know you watched the Miracle, the Boys of 80, which we'll talk about coming up here in the shows before the month ends. But the correlation between both Brooks, their kids talking about their fathers.
Yes.
It was just really, really interesting.
Could you get any more different people than Mel Brooks and Herb Brooks?
Yes. Yeah, but to hear Herb Brooks' kids.
Both geniuses
in their own way. But yeah, it's just, there's a certain sadness too that permeates throughout the entire first
Genius
episode.
can be sad.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah.
Like if people who are compelled to create, and that's what you do. You're driving life force.
Right.
For him was to chase that laugh.
Yep.
That's
For
you know what?
Herb Brooks, it was to chase that win because it was
Because he got
denied
cut.
as a player. Yeah.
Because he got
in
cut.
1960.
That is a really interesting paper.
Yeah. Oh, it is for sure. Yeah, he spent 20 years. I mean, it was a 20-year drive for Herb Brooks.
I would just like that's really the two documentaries that both of us have most recently watched.
Yeah.
Both people named Brooks, both geniuses, both achieved he's an EGOT, like the best possible
Right.
the decoration that you can achieve. The Olympic gold medal, and this guy's won, Emmy, Grammy,
But not
Oscar,
just
and
an
Tony.
Olympic gold medal.
Right.
I mean, beating the greatest team
Yes.
on the planet.
Yes.
With college kids.
Having won all the national championships, or three of the national championships in Minnesota. What a fascinating
really
paper
cool.
you could write about the comparing and contrasting the geniuses Brooks.
Yeah.
in
and
their
then,
lives.
but for Mel Brooks, his, first wife divorces him, and he didn't blame her, totally gets it, understands, but had the 3 kids. And to hear about his youngest child, his son, who his mom remarried, and he just assumed that was his dad because it was like 6 months old,
Right.
when they divorced, and thought his older siblings had a different dad, and this was his dad. And his mom had to sit him down and say, "Well, no, Mel is your dad." And his response was like, "The twitchy guy." The twitchy guy's my dad?
Twitchy guy?
Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah.
As Rob Reiner would say, there's a man.
There's a man here.
There's a man coming here.
Man's going to sleep over.
Are you the man?
Yeah.
That's the man. Are you the man?
Yeah, that hit me too a little bit, seeing Rob Reiner on screen. It was sad.
Yeah. It's very, very well done.
It's great.
And in the second episode, it's the movies I care about a lot less. Like the later movies just weren't important to me.
Okay.
After Reiner, I mean, High Anxiety was sort of, but also what a genius Gene Wilder was too.
See, well, for me, that's the second that will
Yeah.
have more meaning for me, because it was those later movies that I
Right.
knew him, because my parents weren't putting on Mel Brooks records.
Right, and you
know, like
you were too young for Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein at the time.
And so my
Yeah.
brother showed me, and then like the albums I listened to were Steve Martin because of my
Me too.
brothers. Yeah.
The very first album I bought with my own money, I think, was Let's Get Small.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Very cool. No, but it was great. Great recommendation. Would highly recommend it as well too. So check it out, Mel Brooks. And if you haven't watched the movies in a while, go watch the movies. I mean, just do that.
Yeah, I mean
That's good stuff.
although I'm struggling with television because every night, because I have DirecTV, and every night I still flip channels.
Oh yeah, I know.
And I sit and I flip channels, and Zoe always says, "Dad, every show is available to you.
Anytime you want.
Why?" Because I'll complain like nothing's on. There's no good. Like I like to some
But
movie I run
but
into.
I
Like
get
The
it, though.
Godfather was on last night.
I get it though,
Yeah.
because I think it's with our age, that habit of flipping through just to see what's on.
Yeah, I get paralyzed if she said, "Watch whatever you want."
But you don't know what
Like,
you want to watch.
I don't know. I
Right.
want someone else to curate this. If I run into something, I'm like, "Oh, I'll
Yeah.
watch this."
So
Like,
it's
she
it's
says,
not-
"Watch whatever you want."
Yeah, it's more rare for me to have a purpose to sit down in front of the TV and say I want to watch this movie
Right.
again. But yeah, there's a comfort of being able to flip through and saying, Lethal Weapon 2 is on.
Yes, exactly.
It's a half hour in.
Diplomatic immunity.
Oh, I'll watch the last
Yeah.
half hour of this even.
Oh, there's a young Patsy Kensit. You got me.
Yeah.
I'm good. Okay.
I get it. I just think it's our
but you're
age.
Blake.
But I mean, that's how your daughter's grown up though.
Right.
On demand. That's how our life has been.
Well,
We didn't have on demand. We had what's available.
I used to stomp around when like DVR and all their shows would be DVR'd, all the shows they wanted to watch. Here's Elmo, here's Sid the Science Kid, here's Handy Manny, and here's all
I remember
right?
Handy Manny.
And it's just like
Handy
and I was like,
Manny.
you know when I was a kid,
Yeah.
you watched the shows when they came on,
Right.
and you didn't have a choice.
And
You
there
didn't have
were- and there was 3 of them.
And you had 2, 5, 7, 9, 11, 32, and 44. And you flipped until you found something you could tolerate, and you watched what was on. We didn't just have all of our shows to choose from whenever we want.
Oh man, I loved Handy.
Are you still talking, Dad? Get out of here. Yeah,
Oh, they stopped listening.
Handy
yeah.
Manny. I liked Handy Manny.
I did too.
Do 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 do. Handy Manny. That's Los Lobos, by the way.
That's great.
And I forgot the name. It's like and we had to buy all the toys and everything. There's like a tool belt that had
Yeah.
them all on there.
Oh yeah, his nondescript orange and white hat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he'd had a problem. the other day.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, it would have been bad.
Ooh. Yeah, you can't show that anymore because people get real mad.
Yeah, I can't remember. Did he have a brick and mortar? Because that would have been.
This was, he walks outside the store and ICE picks him up and ships him off to CCOT.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Handy Manny has been deported and the show has ended. And all the tools have also been deported to countries where they don't live.
Yeah, the tools with like facial expressions and
Mhm.
talking and
Yeah.
eyes and
All deported.
Yeah.
All of them. Separated, screaming, crying.
Yeah, the handsaw is like, look, it says "Made in America."
Yeah, well, you're not made in America. We don't believe you.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Yep.
Wow.
That will do it for today's edition of Dan Bernstein Unfiltered.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.